Alright guys, so what is up with different height urinals? There's one for people who are relatively shorter, there's one for the average Joe who has a certain height, maybe about 5'3" to 5'6", 5'7". You definitely want a urinal for the tall people so that when they take a piss, they have the ability to be able to piss on the urinal so that it doesn't do a lot of backsplash. Now take a look at this picture here. Have a look at all the backsplashes that are happening. As you're taking a piss, it backsplashes back on your pants as well as the person next to you if there happens to be somebody taking a piss at the same time. How terrible is that? Now, in order to be able to prevent that, there's a technique. Technique is this. Take a look at this photo here. You have to piss on the very edge, on the side, in order to be able for the water to flow down so that there's very little impact, so that the piss that you piss into the urinal doesn't fly back towards your pants. And that's a very important piece if you do not want your pants to be full of little splashes of piss as you walk back to wherever you're going, right? Your event, or go back to your day and having wet area in your pants, especially in a public area where other people piss in the same urinal. You're going to be having a mixture of piss, of other people's piss on your pants as well. Now that's pretty disgusting if you ask me. Now one solution is being able to have these splash screens. Now as you notice, if you take a look on this photo here, there's these little nubs that stick out. And there's hundreds and hundreds of these nubs sticking out. The reason for that is because it helps to prevent backsplash. So as you're pissing on this splash screen, the urinal actually tries to come back out, but as it's come back out, it's being prevented by the nubs. It holds it back down so that it drops back down at the tip of the nub, back down to the bottom of the urinal. So that helps to prevent any urine from coming back. Now a problem with that is sometimes the urinal gets full, and when that happens there's going to be a puddle, and so it's going to overflow above this splash screen, so that's not going to help. So one possible solution is being able to change the urinal, and that's probably the best solution out there, is to change the urinal. Now guys, how many urinals out there look like this? Being able to piss on a back incline so that as you're pissing onto it, there's absolutely very little to none backsplash, and it goes to the very bottom like flowing water into the back of a wall, incline wall. So you know there's very little backsplash. For those of you who have pissed on, when you're going camping or pissing on the ground, you know how much backsplash there is when you're pissing on the ground because it's flat. So you want that incline there. Now if you look at this diagram here, the person is pissing onto an inclined backsplash wall, and it goes to the very bottom, and you can see that there's little to none backsplash occurring. And there's even the efficiency of water flow where you can wash your hands on top of the urinal so that there's very little walking required to go to the sink. Right? Maybe put a hand towel dispenser close to the door so you can wipe your hands as you leave and exit the bathroom. Now that's an excellent idea. So those who own shops, own stores, own buildings, if you're installing public urinals, please install these new types of urinals, or at least put splash screens on your urinals. Now have a look at this picture here. You can see it's pretty disgusting. So, if you can't look at it, just close your eyes for a second here. The urinal goes onto the side of the shitter stall. Now you can see all that splash onto the side, and you can see that urinal is a little clogged, so there's piss there. So as you know, if you're pissing directly into the puddle, you're going to have other people's puddle pee splashing back onto yourself. Now if those who are looking for more economical urinals that don't look like the ones that I've shown earlier, you can get these ones. They look just like any other urinal, but the shape of it is completely different. It's still ceramic, right? It's still the white ceramic, but it has a sharp incline where it's able to, depending on how you're looking at it, decline or incline, it goes straight down. So you know there's no way for piss to splash back up, right? So either do that or throw in a quick screen, a splash screen, onto the bottom of your urinal if your urinals, one of the typical type looking urinals, like these ones here, right? And that's the most common ones you see in whatever facility that you're in with a public urinal area. Then you'll likely see these types of urinals. So I vouch to those out there, please take a second thought into the urinals that you select. There's different heights of men, and in order to accommodate that, at least put a splash screen so that taller men can piss. Shorter men can piss on the shorter urinals, but at the same time, there's a splash screen to help prevent it. In case there's a puddle, it still doesn't really help. So understand that urinal design makes a huge difference. Please, if you like this video, please subscribe to me. It's not just going to be all men related material. It will have all types of materials. Thoughts, trivia, and life mentorship. Thank you.